Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a little Arket review and try on, showing you what these pieces will look like on someone who is 5'3" or 160 centimeters. If you've been here before, you'll know that I like to be super in-depth in my reviews, and I'll also be comparing some of these pieces to higher end items in my wardrobe, as well as more affordable. So we'll be able to see how Arket holds up in comparison. We're gonna start off with a trouser that's been in my wardrobe for about 3-4 months, and it's fast becoming one of those favorite pieces I reach for all the time. My favorite thing about this trouser is that it's made from 100% wool. The shape of these feel quite flattering, it's high-waisted, and I feel like it really does highlight the waist with this design. It kind of goes out a little bit towards the hip, and then it tapers back in around the bottom of the trouser. I did get the length of these pants adjusted, probably by about 7 centimeters or 3 inches, and I don't find that these pants came very long. It's just that most pants I have to get tailored. Another bonus of these pants is that because it's made from this Hopsack weave material, I find that it doesn't wrinkle as much as some other styles, and it's one of the things that this particular Hopsack weave is known for, the fact that it's a little bit more wrinkle resistant than others. One con for this pant is that it says do not dry clean and do not wash, and you're only meant to steam clean it. Well, there has been a time where I did spill something on these trousers, so I did hand wash them and they turned out fine. Most of the time, I just try to steam clean this as per instruction, but having hand washed it once, it seems okay. If we talk quickly about pricing, these are retailing for $129 USD, which is the same as a lot of Dinosaur trousers, especially the ones that are more wool heavy. If I compare it to even Zara, I don't think it's fair to compare it to their polyester pieces. If I look at their wool trousers, I think it's priced very similarly as well. And I do feel like this is a little bit higher quality than what I'll find at Zara or Dinosaur. I've been very happy with these, and I think trousers in general, I even said in my last video, I've been very happy with from Arket. The next piece I want to share is this very gorgeous knit made from 100% wool in this taupe color. When I laid eyes on this, I immediately felt that it looked a lot more high-end than what it was, and it's because it reminds me of my Tibi knit. I love that it has this unique neckline. So many knits just have a really simple, really boring neckline, but I like that it's taking the round neck and it's given it a slightly more unique shape. The other thing I love is that this is a very thick, very heavyweight knit, and even then, it's still being made from 100% wool. On the website, it doesn't say it's merino, but on the tag, it does, and it just feels like very lovely quality. If I compare this to the Tibi now, the similarities is definitely in the neckline and in this really chunky, heavier weight style. The Tibi one is made from cashmere, and you can see that it's also got that ribbing around the neckline. It is a heavier piece. I'm not going to compare the softness because this is cashmere and it's definitely more luxurious, but I feel like this has a similar weight to it, and the look of it is also really close. It's got the drop shoulder detail as well, and I feel like if you're looking for an all year round knit, this is absolutely not it. But if you live somewhere colder and you're looking for an autumn winter knit that will be really warm, I feel like this one is a really good option. I won't be keeping this because I do have the green and it's very similar in shape, but for anyone looking for a good knit, I've been pretty impressed by the quality. While I have a lot of positive things to say about this knit, for chunky knits, the negative for me is that it can be a bit more difficult to style them. So I usually will do a front tuck, very careful to not tuck in too much so that it doesn't create too much bulk at the front. You'll see that through the styling. I just do a little tuck and then kind of fold it underneath to give the most flattering shape. If you don't like to tuck things in, I'm not sure I would recommend this because at this length, at this weight, I don't find it the most flattering. I'm very, very excited about this next item. It's a pair of bright red trousers from Arket, and the reason I'm so excited about these is because they're a really good dupe for these Tibi ones. Tibi styled these pair of red trousers in so many different ways, and I was just so inspired by all of the looks created. So they were about $445, so not a realistic purchase for me, and I was just very happy to come across these. If I look at them, I feel like they're very similar. This one has the pressed crease at the front, whereas that one doesn't, but they both have the elastic band. They're both kind of in this slightly wider shape, and I feel like this is just an excellent dupe. This one is also made from 100% wool, whereas the Tibi one is actually made from a polyamide blend. Let's go back a little bit now and just talk about some of the features on this pant. So for reference, I am usually in between a 34 and 6, but I've gone into the habit of going up to a 36 because it's usually the size that will fit me a little bit more comfortably. So all of these trousers are in a 36 unless I say otherwise. It has a very elastic waistband, which makes it really comfortable to wear. And then it's got the ties on the outside. So I actually included a little clip of the length before the tailoring and then also after. I got mine shortened so it will be an ankle length because this is the length I wear the most. It means that it works with most of my shoes. It means that it's not dragging on the floor too much, and it's just the most practical, easy to wear length for me. Would it be a bit cuter with a puddle? Probably, but it's not as realistic for me. It's made from 100% wool and just feels like really lovely quality. Very similar to the taupe pair. No complaints at all, don't worry, I have some negative things to say about other pieces, but this is genuinely a really good item and I'm just so happy to have found this pant. In the summer, I'll probably only wear it at night and on those cooler days, but all 3 other seasons I could easily wear this pant. And then in winter, I might do thermals on the inside, but a very versatile weight as well. This order has actually featured some really good pieces, but it also features one of the worst pieces I've tried this entire year. And that is this metallic knit. Metallic knit I know can often be scratchy, but this for me has just hit a new level because it reminds me of one of those things you clean the sink with or you clean like dishes with. It's painfully exfoliating when you put it on or take it off or move while wearing it. It's really that scratchy that I don't recommend anyone to buy it. That's honestly all I have to say about this piece. I can't really appreciate or focus on anything else because it's that bad in terms of the fabric. If I really wanted to say something nice about this top, I would say that it fits me okay as someone petite. Sleeves are not too long. The length is a bit long, but you can tuck that in so it's not an issue. I like the neckline, I guess. It's like a little bit of a rib neckline. I've been looking for a metallic knit, and I know that they can be soft because I've seen it before. And this piece, unfortunately, does not hit the mark and will be going back. This is also very, very surprisingly running out of sizes because I think on the website, you don't know how it feels. But if this was a piece you were looking at, stay away. In my order, I picked up 2 of these lighter weight knits, and I guess we'll start with the red one because I do have a lot more to say about this one compared to the blue. This knit here is one of their merino knits, and it's really one of those pieces that not everyone will like. And I think that it will actually divide a lot of people because of a couple of details. So first up, it comes in a lot of different colors, but this knit is more sheer. You know, if you're wearing a nude bra or bandeau, you can definitely see a little bit of it on the inside. And I think that alone will probably put off a lot of people. Adding to that, we've also got a raw hem. So because it's made from this knit fabric, if you cut it raw in the right direction, I believe, it will actually not fray. So that's what they've done here. This is how it's finished on the bottom and then also on the sleeves. What I do appreciate about this piece is that they're very honest with it online. They mentioned that it's a little bit sheer, it's got the raw edges, and no one is surprised when they open up their order because honestly, if I wasn't expecting it, I do think I'll be a bit annoyed. This piece is made from 100% merino wool. I do find it quite comfortable on my skin. I wouldn't say it's like the softest merino I've ever felt, but it's nice enough. I feel like there's kind of 2 ways to look at this piece. The first way is that they're really cutting corners with the very lightweight material and then the raw hems. But I feel like another way to look at it is that it does give a slightly different look on the body. The sheerness makes it feel a little bit less boxy. And I also feel like the raw hems, I mean, I've got nothing to say to that because it's really subtle, you can't really tell anyway. So I think I would have preferred that to be finished. I do personally like how tightly this fits. It reminds me of some of my pieces from Skims, where it's just very, very, very fitted because when it goes under different blazers or jackets, I think it just looks very neat and you don't have excess material moving around or causing any kind of bunching or bulking on the body. I have decided that I want to keep this piece because this is just the perfect color I was looking for. I love the way that it fits on the body. It feels very flattering, and most of the time, to be honest, I'll be using this as a layering piece. I'll either have a jacket over the top or I have a knit on top of it so you can only see the neckline. So some of the things I mentioned doesn't really bother me, and mostly I'm just obsessed with the color and fit of this piece. On someone petite, I also feel like this does fit on the long side. So it's pretty long on the body, and then also it's pretty long on the arms. But again, because it's so fitted, it doesn't bother me too much. If you're looking for a high quality merino knit, and quality was your main focus, I would say the Uniqlo ones are probably cheaper, and I do feel like they're a bit nicer in terms of quality. They're a bit thicker in weight, and it's a better all-rounder compared to this one. This is the other knit, and this one is a cobalt blue, and it's got a little bit of a glitter or metallic element to it. So you'll probably see it up close. It's very, very subtle. It's more of a regular fit across the body, so it's not super tight like the red. It's a little bit looser. It's a little bit shorter, so if you do wear your clothes untucked, I feel like this fits pretty well on my height. And then the arms also fit pretty well on my height. This one is made from 86% wool, and I'm very happy to say that even though it's got some of that glitter in it, it feels very comfortable on the skin. To be fair, the glitter is very subtle, unlike this one, but even then, the base material of this is really soft, whereas I feel like the base material of this was uncomfortable to begin with. The only thing that I'm umming and ahhing over is that I'm not sure whether this color suits me. I've been trying to focus on wearing colors, especially on the top half, that suit my complexion and features a little bit better, and I'm not sure whether this cobalt blue is a bit too bright and a bit too cool. I've been trying this on like different days to see how I feel, but I feel like it's not as good of a color on me as some other colors. So that's the reason I'm still a bit undecided about this item. Let me know your thoughts, but I do feel like earthier colors tend to suit me a little bit better, and colors that are maybe more neutral, slightly warm. If you're still watching today's video, if you're enjoying it, I would love for you to go give this video a like down below. I saw this lovely wool blazer in a brown shade, and I thought I would talk about this blazer as a really good dupe for my Tibby oversized blazer. If you've been here before, you might have seen my very oversized navy blazer from Tibby. That one is obviously quite premium, but this I feel like has a very similar shape and is a good dupe of that one. First, let's talk about shape, because I feel like this is ultimately the most important. If I compare the two of these, I feel like the Tibby one obviously has more of a drop shoulder, and this one has a slightly more structured shoulder. So that's one of the key things I noticed about these two blazers. As we compare the blazer on the sleeve, the Tibby one does have buttons, whereas the Arket blazer has this kind of sleeve. The Arket blazer is slightly shorter, but not by much at all. And then in terms of the width, the Tibby blazer is definitely wider. So that's just a quick comparison of these two blazers if you are interested. I would say the biggest difference is in the shoulders. If we look at this one in a bit more detail, this one is made from 100% wool, similar to a lot of the trousers we talked about earlier. And even the Tibby one is made from a blend. So that one goes to Arket. To be honest, I do prefer the drop shoulder versus the more structured shoulder. This one looks more polished, whereas the Tibby one I think looks a bit more relaxed with that drop shoulder. Something I do like about this blazer is that it has this sleeve. The reason why I like this is because if you go to tailor your sleeve, which I often do for blazers because they're too long, this is a lot easier for them to tailor. It usually costs a lot less compared to if they had to move the buttons. Whereas doing this would be a much more affordable job. That's something I keep in mind when I'm buying a blazer, because it is a cost I have to factor in because most sleeves are long. And because the shoulders are more structured, I personally wouldn't size up too much in this blazer, and I also don't want to size down too much in this blazer because I do want the shoulders to fit perfectly because of that shape. It does have a vent at the back, which I obviously haven't opened because this one I got just so I could compare to my Tibby blazer some of the similarities and differences. This blazer is fully lined with this brown lining material on the body and then also the sleeve. Throughout today's video, if there's something I left out that you want to know, just leave me a comment. I do tend to be pretty good at responding to the comments. Here we've got a pair of brown linen trousers. In the try on clips, know that this is probably about a size too small for me. I think it looks fine at the front, but the back, I feel like it's definitely small, and it's also just not as comfortable as it could be because it's kind of pulling at certain places. If you're true to size, I think just go with your regular, but if you're in between sizes, I definitely recommend sizing up. I love the idea of linen trousers because they're comfortable, they're lightweight, perfect for hot summers. And living in Australia, we do have hot summers. As much as I want to love these, when I put these on, I honestly feel a little bit frumpy in them just because they make me feel shorter. I feel like the elastic waistband is not the most flattering. And with the linen material, it doesn't have the same drape that I feel like these trousers have. On the back side, I feel like there's also a little bit of excess material kind of right under the elastic band, and it's not the most flattering either. In terms of the quality of the linen, I feel like it's not bad, but it is definitely on the lighter, more flimsy side of things compared to some other linen I've tried. I have tried a lot of linen. It kind of passes the test for me, it's good, but it's definitely not the best linen I've tried. So because of that, I don't think I'll be keeping these trousers. In the cutaways, you might also see some creases here that I'm trying to show you. And I actually steamed this in the morning. I left it to dry. And I put these back on to film for literally, maybe 10-15 minutes. and even then you could still see creasing. Linen pants for me, because of this reason, are very casual pants. They are for me only a weekend lounge pant versus something that I can wear every day. So those are the reasons why I won't be keeping this and I won't be going back for the right size. I just feel a bit underwhelmed by these. The item in my wardrobe that I probably get the most questions about are my end of a stories trousers in white. And I think the reason is because I wear them very, very often. So when I came across these white trousers, I really wanted to give it a try so I can report back whether they are a good dupe for my pair. If I compare and contrast these two pairs of white trousers, the one that I'm wearing is a synthetic cotton blend, and this is a synthetic wool blend. You can definitely feel the wool in this one versus the one I'm wearing being a lot more smoother because of that cotton material. What I also noticed with the fabric is that this is a lot more crease resistant. If I scrunch it up and I let go, it's still perfect. If we compare the fit of these two pants, I would say this one feels a bit more classic, and then it tapers in a little bit at the ankle. It has a very high rise as well. This one has a very high rise, but it's more wide and straight through the leg. So that's probably the main difference in look. If you're struggling to imagine what this pant would look like tailored and fitting right, just look at this pant because I believe they are exactly the same shape. Honestly, if it didn't have this next detail that I'm going to mention, I would say these pants are a perfect dupe for what I'm wearing, but the thing I don't like is that these pants, they have a lining. I also don't really understand it because the outside material is thick enough that I don't find it too sheer. So it would have been just a great pant without this uncomfortable lining. The lining, in my opinion, makes this pant a lot less versatile because it's only an autumn-winter pant now, and there is no way that you could wear this in spring-summer without absolutely melting. And I feel like a white trouser is one of those pieces I would love to wear year-round. I don't know if you can hear that, but occasionally I'll say, you know, this synthetic isn't that bad, but this synthetic I feel like is very crunchy and it's not the nicest, so yeah. When I was looking through the Arket website, something that I spotted was a dupe for this bag. This is my Loewe Surplus basket bag, and Arket did this one in cream and in black. And I feel like they're just really good options because they have that similar woven design. It's not too similar, but it's got the top handle, it's got the strap, and you get the same functionality and look overall compared to this. I thought it was a pretty design. I thought I'd quickly mention it in today's video. I asked at the start whether Arket holds up, and I feel like for their tailoring, for their knitwear, they do an excellent job. You do obviously have exceptions like this white trouser, but that's really just the lining that was ruining the whole pant. We've got this metallic knit that I feel like maybe it was just a one-off, I'm not sure, but never again. And then the linen is okay, but I honestly don't feel like it's super special. Maybe this is because being based in Australia, I do see a lot of linen. And I have seen linen that feels a bit nicer than that one. Overall, I'm pretty happy with Arket. I do feel like they surpass a lot of brands that I come across here in Sydney in the sense that you can expect natural fibers when you shop on their site. Whereas for other brands, I do have to dig through a little bit more. Those are my thoughts right now on Arket based on the pieces that I tried. So if you've tried other pieces, if you've tried these pieces, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Are they worth it? Are they overhyped? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, I would love for you to go give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me, and have a wonderful holiday season. I'll see you next week with a new video, but bye for now.